Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
I'm a geek.
Yes.
Say it.
I'm proud to be a geek.
Not good enough. More.
Say it.
I'm a video game junkie and I love it.
Hi, you're watching Bits. On tonight's show, we're bringing you the latest Nintendo hardware. We'll also be adventuring with Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask on the N64 and getting gothic in Wonderland on the PC.
Finally, we lighten the mood when we review the latest dance sensation. Now, some of you might be wondering just what the hell is going on here.
Well, it's simple, really. This is the first day of our nationwide Bits Geek Watch. We're setting out to bring the gaming geeks of Britain out of the closet and onto national TV in a celebration of their geekdom.
We is putting the geek back onto the street.
It's Geek Pride! But we're giving you all the details later in the show, so stay tuned. But now it's time for Emily to screech into view in the PlayStation 2's own Ridge Racer 5. This game is the Petrolhead's equivalent of Baywatch. It's shallow, it's puerile, a real beach bunny blonde of a game. It may look good, it may even feel good to some, but ultimately there is no depth. Now, it's strangely addictive, however, it's not a love affair that will last all night. No, it's more wham bam thank you ma'am with arcade racing sim Ridge Racer 5.
Where are we going?
Round the bend, please. As you'd expect of a PlayStation 2 title, it looks gorgeous. But with manufactured good looks, there's always the odd bit of fogging to dupe you into thinking it looks better than it really does. Now, in my book, starting a little further back and combining the two courses you've just completed does not a new track make. Ho-hum. The artificial intelligence of the competing cars has been considerably improved, making the trademark Ridge Racer slide round the bends that much harder. Now, it might make for instant gratification, but remember, practice to progress. The beauty of this game really lies in the pick up and play value. You can pick it up, play it, and put it down again, without the feeling that you have to complete one more level, solve one more puzzle. It's full of the instant gratification that all successful arcade games and a one-night stand provide. So there you have it. Get your driving gloves on for Ridge Racer 5 when it launches with the PlayStation on November 24th. We've received a flurry of emails from all of you jokers in response to our top 50 games of all time poll, and it looks like all of you have an opinion about what should go into the top 50 games of all time. So, if you haven't entered yet, here's what to do. Choose your favourite game and get on down to our website. It's simple.
Just remember, folks, it's one vote for one game per person.
And next week we'll be telling you what you think about smegma.
Smegma, such a great word. Right, time now for Emily and Alex to fill you in with this week's gaming news.
In the first bits of the series, we dissected the futures of Sony and Sega.
Apparently they've been too busy throwing PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast punches at each other to notice the dark horse in the running, Nintendo's Gamecube. The Gamecube has a 405 MHz processor, 40 megs of memory, and a graphics co-processor with a 1T SRAM memory embedded directly onto the chip.
And what exactly does that mean?
To the well-rounded non-tech head, it means that the Gamecube can make claim to be the most powerful console on the planet. Bar the Xbox. All others may have to cringe beneath its power and will cower behind the closest rock until the Miyamoto storm has passed. So expect totally arse-kicking gameplay. Here's a little taster of some familiar faces in demo gameplay footage. They certainly show off the Gamecube's talents. we had a tete-a-tete with Nintendo's Uberman, Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto. Now, you may recognize him as the creator of Zelda, Mario, and Donkey Kong, to name but a few.
Not only did he wow us with the stats, his congenial appearance, not to mention that fantastic haircut, but he also bowled us over with details of Nintendo's next gen. And here they are, just for you.
The Gamecube makes our work easier. The 3D consoles we used to design games for were limited. We had to spend a lot of time simply realizing the 3D engine itself. Now with the Gamecube, working in 3D is as easy as working in 2D.
And if you were perturbed by the release of the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Pocket because you're an original black and white Game Boy geek, then get the anti-anxiety pills at the ready because the Game Boy Advance is on its way.
The Game Boy Advance, or GBA to its friends, is the equivalent of a mini PlayStation in your pocket. It's powered by the same size brain as the now old-school Sony machine, but is a mere quarter of the size, making it much smaller than the miniaturized PS1. More points are scored on the display front. The PS1 needs a TV. Next year, you'll be able to buy a snap-on LCD screen. Thanks, Sony. The GBA comes with its own built-in screen, 1.5 times as big as the one on your Game Boy.
And check this out, you can have a Menage a Quatre, that's 4-player action, on SNES quality Mario Kart if you have enough pals. And it totally works. I had my ass whooped by 3 complete strangers.
Now, the only apparent downfall of this fantastic piece of kit that we all want to get our hands on is that it won't be on the shop shelves until next July. So how come we got our dirty little mitts on one at ECTS and they're actually going to keep it all to themselves until summer 2001?
The same story happened at this year's U.S. Trade Fair show. So I chatted to Bike Maldwin, our transatlantic reporter, and this is what he had to say on the subject.
Well, Nintendo now is making lots of money on the Game Boy. Everybody's buying Game Boy. They have the Game Boy Advance, 32-bit, perfect, ready to go. They're not talking about it. They're going to hold it back until they've sold every last Game Boy.
Well, looks like we'll just have to sit tight and wait. Arse.
And for that little bit extra on Miyamoto news, here's Booth with his latest, Zelda Majora's Mask.
Right, now we know that you're gagging for anything that's new from Nintendo, so who are we to deny you the pleasure of feasting your mince pies on the latest epic to grace the Zelda series? Oh yes, it's time to get swept away with that special little bit of Miyamoto magic with Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The lovable green-hooded Link is back in a brand new incarnation of Ocarina of Time. But while this world may seem familiar, something's just not quite right. As the title suggests, the game employs a novel mask-wielding system. There are 3 principal magic guises for players to adopt. Okay, bear with me. The Goron mask turns Link into one of the rock-eating creatures that was featured in Ocarina of Time. This enables him to smash his way through any landscapes or roll himself up into a tight-fisted snowball so he can zip through any one of the 10 massive environments, or even show off his more rhythmical talents by getting jiggy with a rather large pair of bongos in his spare time. Right, the Deku Scrub Mask. This will turn Link into one of the Deku dudes, giving him all the corresponding abilities, while the Zora Mask gets Link to delve deeper, dashing through the water, nifty as a newt. Majora's Mask should prove to be the perfect follow-up for Zelda diehards and an eye-opener for first-timers. It not only plucks you from that harsh reality of the everyday grind, popping you back into that sweet-smelling, womb-like familiarity in Ocarina of Time, but also twists your senses so you'll be looking over your shoulder more than just the once. Majora's Mask will be out for Nintendo on November the 17th. Emily.
Yep, it's time now to take a look at this week's top 5.
Last week we told you all about our favorite awesome weaponry. Now this week we're passing the torch into the virtual world and paying homage to the Olympics.
So, in keeping with international team spirit and all, we've devised a top 5 video gaming Olympic candidates.
At the starting blocks.
This gun-toting dog from NDK2 has got the cockiness that counts, and though he may look better with a pistol in his pocket, he sure knows how to take a punch. At a slight advantage with extra arms, he could be the Buddha of the boxing ring. He's still got a lot to learn, but picks up the tin medal.
At number 4, straight out the 50s with its arse in the air and flowery cozies, it's synchronised swimming. Who better to sashay through the sea with effortless style than Echo the dolphin? No one has H2O under his blowhole better than this water baby. Echo would certainly make a fine contender and comes in with a brass medal.
And in third place, Mario is the only fella for the high jump. An unlikely choice perhaps, being a fat plumber in a boiler suit, but one thing's for sure, he's certainly got a bounce in his step and his head in the clouds. Mario springs to the bronze.
And no, we haven't overlooked that fit bird, Ms. Croft. She's got the pentathlon firmly strapped within her bountiful polygonal bosom. She's got all the moves, just look at those splits. She swims, sprints, climbs, drives, swings away on ropes and shimmies up or down them. Careful, gal, too much friction in the bush can start a fire. She's set for silver in the pentathlon.
When there's a need for speed, there's only one mammal tearing up the countryside with every step he takes. It's the one and only, truly original, Sonic the Hedgehog, earning gold in a 5,000-metre sprint. Sonic, we salute you.
So what's this Geek Watch thing all about then, eh?
Well, the other day I was playing an FPS with a BFG, fragging some newbies on my PC with a Voodoo 33500 TV AGP when I realised my ping rate was well slow. So of course I switched on to an RPG ASAP. LOL!
Yeah, if you know what the hell she is talking about, then we want you to enter the first ever National Geek Watch UK. Quack!
This is your chance to reclaim a little bit of geekdom just for yourself. Be loud and be proud.
Right here we have a big map of Britain and we want it covered in geeks.
All you gotta do is take a pic, scan it in, and then email it to us at 4later.com/bits.
Tell us who you are, where you come from, and in no more than 50 words, what your geek credentials are.
At the end of the series, we want you, the British public, to vote for that one person, that special person, the person who qualifies on all counts to earn himself that special title of Ultra Geek.
Now, we'll be treating that numero uno geek to something very special at Christmas. So get snapping and get tapping.
Join us after the break for a healthy dollop of this.
Something's broken.
What's broken, Alice?
I am.
I met a geek just the other day.
He looked down on his luck 'cause he'd never been late.
Said, don't be so bleak, 'cause you ain't no freak.
'Cause you could be the Geek UK. The Geek UK. Say Geek UK. Hey, 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 it's Geek Watch UK.
And coming up in part 2, we've got Dancing Stage 2nd European Remix.
Alex rides the white rabbit in Alice.
But first, one go at the ready, 'cause it's shop, shelf, shop, shelf.
Time to comb the tash and put the monocle to work. It's Crimson Skies. In 1937, air pirates roam the firmament. You play a dashing ace pilot, coincidentally also a womanizer, leading a squadron of privateers in 24 air missions against the cads and the scoundrels.
Age of Empires 2, the Conqueror's expansion has solved some of the things that made its predecessor drag. Now you have smart farmers and villagers who replant and gather resources automatically so you can wage more war without distraction. Sounds like the perfect Sunday to me.
And for the Dreamcast, it's the magical beat-em-up sequel you've been waiting for, Power Stone 2. It's on the streets and fully interactive with hundreds of things to twat your opponent with and gazillions more special moves than in the first one. Nice.
Retro racers rejoice, Mille Miglia, the game we've been talking about for umpteen months, is finally out exclusively on your PlayStation. It's not that good, but it's got some nice cars, nice tracks, and a nice bit of scenery. Nice.
And finally, Tenchu 2, The Birth of the Stealth Assassins. The title pretty much says it all. You're a ninja on a variety of missions. Save villages from villains and rescue your master San from the enemy by sneaking up behind your foes and slitting their throats. Lots of blood on your PlayStation. Can't argue with that.
Are you confused, depressed, possibly considering psychosis? Don't know whether you want to play with the bunny or boil it? Well, don't go through Freudian psychotherapy. It's too expensive. Just play Alice.
What's wrong, Alice?
Something's broken.
What's broken, Alice?
I am.
American McGee's Alice is the third chapter in the two-part Lewis Carroll books. Mr. Carroll wasn't exactly straight when he wrote about the blue-frocked, white-apron 9-year-old who escaped real-world persecution in favor of a dissociated reality filled with cards, hookahs, and pig babies. But you had to be more subtle in those days. Saw that. This is the zeros, and even LSD is so passé. The music comes from Chris Vrenna, drummer, programmer, engineer with artists such as Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, and David Bowie.
The music needed to be otherworldly and creepy, but not at all modern sounding. So I started seeking out and looking for antique toy instruments and wind-up musical instruments that could be sampled and recorded to authentically try to recreate a vibe from that era.
Alice will be especially popular amongst modern-day Nine Inch Nails worshippers. Heaven knows there are a disproportionate number of nutcases in that population, and don't they know it? So she's been traumatized again, and in order to find her grip on reality, she heads back to Wonderland. Yeah, that'll work. With her You'll have to rely on your noggin and your own warped sense of reality to puzzle your way through some of the more acid-induced levels of the game. But along the way, to help you off the path, will be the familiar grin of the Cheshire Cat and the confounding rhymes of Tweedledee and Tweedledum. But the biggest pain in the ass will be the White Rabbit. This wascally bastard will push Alice into the oncoming headlights of harm and then bugger off down his hole. If this public rethink of childhood fantasy is a trend, what the hell are they gonna do with Winnie the Pooh? Now, if this sounds like an English literature lesson, then suck it up, baby, because maybe you'll learn something. Now, although Alice sounds like it could be an amazing action-adventure, it could just get relegated to the back of the cupboard. It's only coming out on PC, so the console kids might feel alienated, and, well, it lacks that certain cyborg robot quality of most successful PC titles. I hope I'm wrong. But Alice is coming out at the end of November. Yeah, baby, scream! And now it's time to get continental.
Gaming's for lard asses and cheesy puffs addicts who spend their waking hours glued to their sofas, belching out the theme tune to Mario Brothers, using those high-energy, soft drink-fueled burps, right?
Wrong. In fact, we're here tonight to challenge your stereotypes by hosting the first international adrenaline-fueled game-off using Dancing Stage EuroMix and its accompanying mats.
Now, we've corralled together a bunch of Johnny foreigners to see just how light in their loafers they really are. And let's start out. What's your name? Where do you come from?
I'm René, I come from France.
Ah, fantastique!
And here he is in full French garb, it's Monsieur France.
Next up, what's your name? Where'd you come from?
Hi, my name is Guillermo and I come from Madrid.
Oh, Madrid in España.
Looking a lot like Gloria Estefan, it's Mr. Spain.
And what's your name and where do you come from?
I'm Daniel and I'm from Austria.
Yodeling. Mr. Austria.
What's your name and where do you come from?
I'm Tero from Finland.
And finally, from the land of vodka and sodas, it's Mr. Finland. Let's see what this dance stage second European mix is all about. All you've got to do is watch the arrows as they go up the screen and hit the appropriate button when they reach the top. But instead of letting your fingers do the walking, your atrophied leg muscles will be warming up the dance floor.
Two contestants are ready and waiting to boogie their butts off already on the mats. We have España and Austria. Here we go. Oh, it looks to me like Austria is already leading. He seems to have control over what his feet are doing. Upper body strength. Yeah, man, creativity. Oh, you're getting beer on my feet. That's pretty shocking. We still don't have much expression. Oh, but Spain's getting into it. Spain's wiggling around up there, but Austria's just sort of standing there with the stein open. As it stands now, Austria is slightly ahead of Spain, but only slightly. He could come back at any second. Oh, a little bit of a break. Almost. Well done.
So here we are at round 2 with Mr. France, and Mr. Finland. Woo! Dancing to the song that so many women have cried over. It's sad. Oh, we have points for style for Mr. France. Oh, he knows how to move. Concentration on their faces, intense at this moment. Oh, wait, we have singing. We have singing. They work. Work that towel. Right, so the scores equate to burning up the fat. The more calories you use up, the higher your scores, obviously.
So, Boof, tell us the fat facts.
Okay, coming in at a largely last, we have Finland. Coming in at 3rd place, very closely I might add, is France. Come forward, But coming in 2nd, we have Austria. Austria, where's your leather panty? Final winner of this hot and heady race to become the funkiest dancer in town. It is none other than the salacious, sashaying Spaniard. Oh my God!
Okay, Alex, and what's on offer tonight?
Well, this week you can take home a fantastic Formula One Racing Championship bundle.
And all you've got to do is answer this totally random question.
What could it be tonight?
Don't know. Can't
Very
get
exciting.
It's folded up very thickly. Dinosaur rockers The Who have been touring Britain recently. Their keyboard player is a man called Rabbit. As you know, we Bits girls aren't too keen on little fluffy bunnies, but we do love our rock. So, what you need to do is come up with a complete rock band entirely made up of pets, playing guitar, bass, drums, the works. The funniest pet, Pop Combo, gets the booty.
You can email us your answers via our website at www.forlater.com/bits.